All right. Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. I'm your host, James Dillard. With me, as always, my co-host, Bailey Jackson. How you doing, B?
I'm doing great, James, but I also have a special helper tonight.
See
Katie
that?
Jackson's here, getting ready to head back to Clemson in the morning, but she said she'd be on the podcast tonight.
That's right. Hey, we'll have her anytime. We also have special guest, Gayla McGinnis. We'll get to her in just a second. We're going to do a little something different, special. We're going to highlight the weekend results, of course, with Clemson baseball and softball. And we're going to have our first ever Fun Fan Podcast tailgate menu draft, and we're going to give away a koozie. But first, the Fun Fans are...
Fast.
Say again?
Say that 5 times fast.
I know, right? I've been practicing. Been practicing a lot. But the Fun Fans are a proud part of the Fanboys Fangirls Sports Podcasting Network. If you're a true sports fan, the Fanboys Fangirls is perfect for you. Find various nationwide podcasts and other sports media at thefanboys.com and all forms of social media. The Fun Fans Podcast is the official podcast for Clemson fans. And Bailey, where's our official place to eat?
Reuben's Food Spirits, Sports Spirits and Catering, the best ones around, with 2 locations in the upstate. Batesville Road at 1083 in Greer and 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont. Find them at ReubenC.com. It's right there on your screen. It's a great place to eat for all sports fans.
All right, yeah, I was there just last night. Go figure.
Saw that.
That's kind of, it's kind of what we do. Is what led into that. So anyway, let's get right to our special guest. We're going to introduce this evening. For reasons outside of athletics. Now, this lady's a friend of mine, and I'm going to let her tell her story. I'm not going to steal her thunder, but I reached out to her in reference to our show because this past Wednesday, my mother-in-law, Momo Linda Stevenson, started chemo treatments. And everyone knows how that is. Basically, it's scary. There's no other way to describe that. And everybody and nobody is immune to having at least a loved one that's been affected by cancer. So, especially, it's really scary at the beginning. So our guest today is a survivor and has a special story that we here at the Fun Fans hopefully can help with her story. And she's going to tell that one. So welcome my friend from Greenville, South Carolina, Miss Gayla McGinnis. How are you, Gayla?
I'm doing great. How are you, James? We actually live in Inman now. So we used to live downtown Greenville, but our daughter was born in Greenville. So
yeah. Well, with this, we're broadcasting all over the world. So hopefully we could just say upstate South Carolina. So y'all moved to the country, huh?
Yeah. Mr. Worldwide.
This is the World Wide Web. Yeah. So Inman, Greenville, it really knows South Carolina.
Take a train to come here, get a passport or something. I don't know.
That's right. Very good. Well, Inman, yeah, that's cool. So, and that helps with what we're going to talk about here in just a second with what you guys do with horses and stuff. I'm sure probably a lot better being in Inman than downtown Greenville.
Yeah, it's closer to Stella's barn.
Right. All right. So let's jump right into the story of why I reached out to you. So tell us what you're doing now and why.
Okay, so about 3 years ago, I was actually diagnosed, and it was just one morning I started homeschooling Stella, and about 9, she starts her first class about 9, and about 9:14, I had a girlfriend over for coffee, and in the middle of our conversation, I forgot how to speak. I just forgot how to speak, and I got really frustrated. I was already taking cholesterol medicine, so I thought I was having a mini stroke. And so I stuttered to my friend Risha that was there, I think I'm having a stroke, call 911. So long story short, we got to the hospital. We found out that it was a slow growing primary brain tumor, and it was cancerous, but it was located right behind my left eye. And it was located in the part where your communication center is. So my neurosurgeon was like, Gayla, I can't guarantee that you'll be able to walk, talk, speak, because it was in my communication center. So anyway, they removed the tumor almost 3 years ago in October. But I did lose all of my hair because I had to go through chemo and radiation both. But it was pretty scary, like you said. And, James, you were saying that, the C word is a very scary word. And no family is untouched by it. I mean, every single one of us can probably testify to somebody that we know, that we go to church with or work with, or that's in our family, that has some sort of cancer. So, long story short, I'm good now. I just have to get MRIs like the doctor just released me. I go back in 6 months.
Oh, wow.
So I
Very good.
was going every 3 months, but I did completely lose my hair. I was bald.
So then that's okay for me and Bailey, because bald is beautiful.
Well,
And
I
that's
was going
okay
to say
for a cancer survivor too. So yeah, it's all good. But
yeah.
the ladies like to cover it up a little bit. So tell
Yes.
us about what you're doing
And so
now.
I got into hats. I was wearing hats at first, and then I, wore scarves, whatever. But I am a big fan of Lainey Wilson, and you know how she wears those. I don't know if you guys are familiar with country music. She's big up and coming country music star. She sings that song, "Heart Like a Truck."
She's the one on Yellowstone, right?
Yes, she
Yeah.
is. She is. So I'm a very big fan of hers. And I started looking at all her hats on that show. And I was like, I could do that. And so I started researching it. And the only place they're doing it is in Texas. And Nashville. So it's
Mhm.
nowhere around here. I know it's coming. But anyway, I just thought, you know what? I took fashion merchandising and I, into little details and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to give it a go. So it kind of morphed into a business, but I was always had hats because, I was bald and stuff. So it took me a while to grow back my hair, but you can see now it's coming back fine.
Oh yeah. Looks great. So all right, so it morphed into a business. So tell us about your business.
Okay. So I take any type of hats, straw hats, felt hats, cowboy hats, men's hats, women's hats. And I just, like I have an example here. This is a felt cowgirl hat.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Wrong way. And then what I do is I just embellish it. And so I can burn it. I do all kinds of things. Burn them. The men's hats I usually go to antique shops and get like brooches and old pins and stuff. Get men's ties and add that. And I don't have any of my men's hats because I have them all at my boutiques and stuff. But I usually go to like Goodwill and stuff and get old ties of men's. And then I get brooches from antique shops, and then I just make them into a hat, put feathers in it, burn them, embellish them any kind of way.
Wow. So bling them up, huh? And just
Yep. Bling
fancy
them up.
them
I
up.
can either bling them up, put feathers in them, put cards in them. I burn them. But I could do custom hats too. So,
All right.
and
So
you could make them as fancy as you want, or if you don't want fancy, I could do that too.
so I put this up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Gayla McGinnis Designs, and that's the name of your new business now. So
Yes.
what's the easiest or
So the
some
easiest
local way?
way to find me is you can go to West Side Market. They have a really cool like flea market type venue. It's an inside, but it's a real fancy place.
Mhm.
So they have like all kinds of vendors. They have hundreds of vendors in there. So that's located at West Side Market. And it's in downtown Greenville off
Okay.
Augusta Street, or Augusta Road rather. And I have an end cap in there. And then you can also find my hats at Renew Salon, which is owned by Christina Carroll, and that's off Locust Hill Road in Greer. And then I also am at the Tryon Equestrian Center. I don't know if either one of you have been to that place yet. It's amazing. It's a big equestrian center. So the Horse Olympics came a few years ago. They call it the Horse Olympics. But anyway, horses come from all around the world. Riders come from all around the world. And it's a beautiful event venue. But they have I'm renting some space in the Unique Boutique there.
The
Yep.
Unique. Okay. So all those places you listed, you send that to me, and when we post this show, we'll be sure and post that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to promote Gayla's business here for a bit on the show, and we'll keep her logo in front of some folks' face and remind them, and we'll keep those locations. Is there a place on? Okay, so this is the Tryon International Equestrian. You were telling me about this.
Okay.
So they have a store type area at
Yes,
this
they have
place.
a boutique. So they have several boutiques, but they have one main boutique right at the gate. And what they do is they offer a space for local artisans, people in the upstate and nearby states, and they let them sell their stuff in there. So I'm renting some space in there, in that place. And then they have like rodeos and all kinds of different events that that come there. And so they'll just have anything equestrian.
Yeah. Well, that sounds neat. So you had told me about that earlier, and I hadn't had a chance to talk to my wife about it, but that sounded like I went to their website and they have events regularly
Yes,
and
they do.
into the summer. And like you say, that sounds pretty cool. We will list all those shops and locations. Is there a website people can go and
So
what's the best place?
they can find me. Just go to my Facebook page. That's probably just the easiest. You can
Okay.
find me at Gayla McGinnis Designs.
We'll put that back up there again, and we'll post that, like I say,
Yep.
for everybody when we post some stuff here for a while. So Gayla McGinnis Designs, and you have a Facebook page as well,
Mhm.
and that's the best place to see stuff, and they can order stuff online.
Yes, they can also order. And then I'll be at vendor events and stuff too. So when the rodeo comes up at Tryon, I'm planning to be there as well and have a vendor booth. So,
All right.
but I am going to get into making hats for men and women too, with the sports colors on them for the teams. So I'll be making plenty of Clemson, because I know there's a lot of Clemson fans around here.
That's right. Can't you see us, Bailey, with some orange cowboy looking hats or something? That's
we
what
need hats because we
I
need
know.
to keep that sun off our domes.
Sunburn off our head. Okay, so the podcast is mostly about sports, but horse races, horse competition, that's definitely a sport. Bailey, have you ever been to a horse race or competition?
Well, I hate to say this, but the only horse competition I've been to is the Carolina Cup
Well, I mean, that's one.
in Camden.
Yeah.
And I didn't see a ton of horses when I was there, but I think didn't our niece, didn't she she rode horses, and the Gamecock equestrian team's very good.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Well, Gayla,
So-
give us a fan experience from a.
So I will tell you, my daughter just competed in a show this weekend, but it was the Carolina Summer Series.
Mhm.
So this was their second show of the year, and Stella did what's called over fences. It's like 18 inches high, and she jumps over the fence, over the what is it? Jump. So anyway, it's 18 inches high. So she did 2 of those. So she had to do one, and it was a certain pattern that you have to jump a certain way. All the jumps in a certain order. And anyway, yeah, there she is on the screen. So her first class, she did over 18, and it was a different pattern. She got first. And then the second class that she did a different pattern over fences, she got second. And then they had to do what's called a flat class. That's where they just ask the horses to walk, trot, or canter. And a canter looks like a gallop, if you've seen a horse gallop.
Mhm.
So they put them all in the ring. So the over fences, I'm sorry, I need to explain it, because over fences, they go in by themselves and they get judged on how they do the pattern. The flat classes, they all go in together. So I think there was like 10 of them in her class, and they all get judged together at the same time. So the judge asks the horses to walk, trot, and canter, and they're judged based off how they do. And so Stella got first in the flat class too. So then overall, she got grand champion. So
Oh wow!
yeah,
Congratulations!
so she's been riding ever since she's been 4. So, and she's 13 now.
Awesome.
Very nice. If I was quicker on my, I have a. Here we go. Yeah.
I was waiting on that.
I got some sounds. I just got to get quick. Well, that's pretty cool. And I'm sold. We're going to be looking for some things to do this summer, and trying just right up the road.
Yes, it is. And
Yeah.
listen, all the events there, if you guys want to check it out, you guys can go, because they have riders come from all around the world. They're not from around here. And they have like what's called a Grand Prix, and the purse is like 130 grand. And
Wow.
they have it like on ESPN and everything, but
Nice.
it doesn't cost anything to get in. So it's a good, fun family event.
That sounds like the right price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, and
I like
the
that.
gala has a boutique there. We'll have to check it out. So maybe we will definitely have to get up there for sure. But when we go and we're there as a fan, what do we need to do? Do we need to we're used to
You
bringing
just show up
just
because
show
they
up.
have, yeah, just show up because they have all kinds of things. If you got younger kids, they've got events for them. They have a clown, they have bull riding, they have a carousel, food, beer, wine, whatever you want.
Awesome. Well, I'm sold. That sounds good. And we definitely appreciate you being on here.
Well,
And
thanks for having me.
we were glad to hear your story. Like I said, we're going to share your stuff and look forward to our partnership here on the show. And
I'll have to make you and Bailey some hats with Clemson on them.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I'll make Katie one too.
We'll wear it for sure.
Yeah, I'm down. So yeah, that'll be fun. And but we hopefully will promote your business and help a lot. Hopefully it'll help a lot because like we said before, there's nobody out there that's not touched by cancer in some kind of way. And a cool hat, whether it's all doodled up the way somebody likes it or just nice and clean. Raylan from what's the TV show? Just a classic clean cowboy look. I think I might can pull that off. I don't know. We'll have to see.
You probably could.
Yeah. So anyway, Gayla, we'll let you go, and we appreciate your time. It was good to see you. Hopefully, see you in person
nice
again
to meet
soon.
you,
Being with us.
Thanks. Bye.
See you.
Well,
all right.
cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, so there you go. So, and she's talking. We need to invite her to Buck's fundraiser. She could set up a booth at Buck's fundraiser in August, maybe in Clemson.
Did you talk to Buck?
I have talked to Buck lately. Okay, just talked to him yesterday. So we're looking to help Wayne Buckingham, former Clemson basketball players, doing a orange and white fundraiser weekend. And I talked with him yesterday, and I wrote this stuff down because the names, the list of big names that are going to be at this deal for $50, you can come to the gala. Okay. And he's raising money for scholarships and to help former Clemson Tigers. So it's definitely a good cause, and you need to be there. So the former Tiger athletes are confirmed. Tim Beret is helping him get these folks in. And Tim told him that this is going to be a historic event because this will be the first time these guys have been together in one place basically ever. Some of them may have been here at the same time, but when you put folks that were at Clemson, 7, 8, 10 years apart, and then you start bringing them together, you've got a crazy list. For example, Horace Grant, Dale Davis, Levon Kirkland, Michael Dean Perry, Coach Danny Ford, Grayson Marshall. The list just keeps on going and going and going. There's going to be people from the 1990 ACC championship basketball team. Perry Tuttle is going to be there from the 1981 national championship football team. And it's just going to be crazy. So
it's just a who's who of Clemson legends.
Without a doubt. So we're going to post this link as well. There are buttons to just register to go. There are buttons to sponsor. The sponsorship start as low as $150. So there's a golf tournament on Sunday, and you can enter a team, of course, or you can sponsor a hole. You can sponsor a hole for as little as $150. And there are multiple levels of giving, all the way up to $7,000. But that gets you an entire weekend where members of that 1981 national championship game will be part of your weekend. They will sit at your table at the gala, and they will play the round of golf with you. And for $10,000, you can have that same weekend experience with NBA champion Horace Grant. Dude played with Michael Jordan. That's going to be a big deal. So you party of 8, you and 8 others and Horace Grant are going to be hanging out, playing golf, going to the gala, in addition to all the other promotional stuff for your business or organization that you want to donate that you're donating that money from. And remember, this is going for a good cause to raise money, and we will post that link. So any Clemson fan needs to be there, the $50. and or the golf tournament get-togethers. Typical price, I think, Bailey, right, for $200 a person for a fundraising golf tournament thing, can enter a team. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard.
That's pretty standard. So hopefully, any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And that's with sponsorships or signing up to go or anything. Feel free to reach out to either one of us. Like I say, we'll post those links, and there's all the information you need on that website. All right, so very good. So what is happening now in Clemson athletics? The baseball team.
The baseball team just won their 4th series in a row in ACC play. Actually traveled to Boston and beat number 11 Boston College 2 out of 3 this weekend.
That's a big deal.
They are going to make the NCAA tournament, and they were listed today, I saw on Twitter, as a possible host for a regional. So there was a time when Clemson hosted regionals every year. And then I also read that if they don't host, they will end up in Conway at Coastal, who they've already beaten one time this year. So it's Tigers are peaking at the right time. Softball dropped 2 out of 3 to Virginia Tech, but I think Virginia Tech's ranked in the top 10 also.
Yep.
And that's the end of the regular season, but still 44 wins, 8 losses, 17-6 in the ACC, and they're getting ready to have the tournament in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yep.
But today, Katie is on here because I found out some things that Clemson athletes, some perks that they have that I didn't even know about.
Uh-oh. Katie, you got some insider info for us?
Katie, guess what they have in the West End Zone for student athletes?
Nice Porta Johns.
No.
Not on game day.
Oh.
All the time. We have it's called the West End Zone Bistro. And you can just go up any time of day. It's on the 2nd, maybe the 3rd floor, I think, actually. And you just go in, scan your CUID, and you can eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner up there. And they put out the menu on Instagram every week. And then you can kind of pick the days you want to go, when you don't want to go, and just have a good variety of food.
Awesome.
What else, Katie?
What else?
I want to know. So before or after you work out, if you're hungry or thirsty, what do they have for you?
Oh, in Jervy, in the weight room, there is you call it a fuel station. I guess that would be the
hydration / fuel station.
Hydration station.
I think it is called the fuel station.
Yeah.
Tiger Fuel.
Yeah, that's what. Look at his muscles.
No.
But you go in, they have kind of like a soda machine, but it's all Gatorade and water. And then there's 2 fridges, one with the like Pedialyte and the muscle milk stuff, another one with like cut up fruit, applesauce, smoothies, and then just a bunch of like protein bars and stuff like that.
Wow.
You got to stay fueled up. So back to the food in the West End Zone. Is that a convenient location for the athletes? Or you guys, I mean, I know y'all are always doing something, but did y'all park?
I think it is convenient just because it's right across the street from Jervy, where most people are located, minus football. But football doesn't really go to the West End Zone. They have their own little chef over there.
Of course.
But
Bailey is right across the street. Me and Bailey walked from about there right across the street, and we felt like we had done a workout or something.
Well,
it was 100 degrees that day.
It was a little different.
Clemson does give like most of the teams have their own little scooters that they drive around.
Scooters.
Yeah.
Nice.
They'll all be parked outside of the training room at the same time. It's really funny.
Those are some cool. Anything else?
What else were we talking about? The
they had a shuttle from Jervy to the middle of campus.
Yeah. So we
just
can
for athletes.
Yeah, we can park in that lot over there between the football facility and Jervy and get on like a small Tiger Transit, and it just goes through campus.
Well, and it's very much deserved. It's like what Bailey and I have talked about before, and he knows your hard work, time you put in for cheer, and everybody hears about football. Everybody hears about basketball, hearing a lot about softball, but all those other athletes, the gymnasts, the golfers, and, every sport, you don't play a college sport and not put in tons of time, tennis team, etc. So good for y'all. Good for them. Good for Clemson. Good job, Clemson athletic department, in my opinion. That's awesome.
We also have last year we had a free Nike drop-in where you could come in and look through all the old Nike stuff. You got a bag, and if you filled up your bag, you had to leave, but you kind of just could fill up your bag and get whatever you wanted. Free Nike stuff.
That's awesome. Just keep stuffing stuff in there.
Let's stop talking now because
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit that
Yeah.
spot. Don't tell
Well,
everybody.
You know who else is full of perks? J-Do, MC, entrepreneur, entertainer, pep rallies, corporate events, game shows, fundraisers, galas, etc. Just put that man on the mic and let him liven up the party. Not only is J-Do a friend of mine, I've seen him work, and you and your organization will not be disappointed anytime you add J-Do to your function. You can find him at itsjdo.com on all forms of social media at its J-Do. Now, J-Do was at the Swamp Rabbits game Friday night, and I was at a prom. So that was, I hate I missed that, but it's prom. You got to go to prom. Prom's great.
Does he go down on the ice? Does he walk around on the ice?
I don't know. See, I missed it, and we'll have to get him to, if I'm sure there are some videos, and I'm sure he was. I mean, if you've seen J-Do, he does whatever it takes to entertain the crowd. He may have been, skiing behind the Zamboni or something for all I know, but we missed it. Yeah, he could have been on it, but I counted up, Bailey, as a high school administrator, and of course I went to the prom when I was in I believe that was my 28th prom Friday night. So
I've been to quite a few myself.
It's more than a handful. And I haven't really said on here, but the Bruins right now are about 2 hours into a game 7. I don't know what the score is. But I'm a Bruins fan. We don't talk hockey on here, but I enjoy a Swamp Rabbits game every once in a while here in Greenville. And I pull for the Boston Bruins, and there's a whole story behind that and why. But that's for a different show. The big event really in sports this weekend was the NFL draft. Okay. Mm-hmm. By now, the Clemson fans know who was drafted where. Bailey, is there anything special you wanted to point out about the NFL draft and the Clemson players or anything?
No, I just wanted to say on here that if you're one of those people that you spend a boatload of money to go to the draft, there's no telling what you spend to go to all the games. Because, and then let's be honest, did you watch any of it?
So very little.
Had the first pick for like months. But when their clock started, they waited almost 10 minutes. And that's got to be told, hey, Panthers, don't make your pick for 9 minutes. We got to play all these videos and these hype videos and talk to all these people because they knew who they were going to draft when the clock started.
Yes.
Anyway, I didn't watch a whole lot of it. I know the Clemson guys got drafted in the first round, and then some of them, BT Potter signed a free agent deal with the Steelers.
I thought our boy Skiba was with the Steelers.
Skiba is actually kicking right now for the New Jersey Generals in the USFL. I talked to my brother at school the other day.
I thought that was just something he was doing in the offseason. He was still with the Steelers, and he might still, who knows?
Well, they only sign them week to week now.
Okay. Well, there you go. That answers that. But everybody knows pretty much, even my wife was keeping up with Jordan McFadden, I believe. Is that right? The offensive lineman, because he went to Norman. So even she knew when he got drafted and when he got picked. So this show is not about the NFL draft. It's about the first ever Fun Fans. I got to get the music going again. I'm just going to go ahead and apologize for there's no telling how bad the production part of this is going to be. But we're going to get the music back on here because it's time for the first ever Fun Fans podcast tailgate menu draft.
Let's explain to the folks that our children got a pick.
We have 5 children.
5 picks.
That's the first round. All first rounds. And we went in order of age. We went youngest first. So
right. Let's roll.
Whit has been on the clock for about 2 months now. And, Whit is he's a 10th grade young man, and he's got all these choices. He's just got anything he can choose from. He can take wings or burgers or chicken.
Just, hey, roll the video.
And what the pick is in, Whit is ready to make his first pick.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2023 Fun Fans Tailgate Food Draft. It's an honor and a privilege to be here and to have the first selection. After months of deliberation and serious consideration, I, Wiz Jackson, am ready to make my pick. With the first pick, I select Bojangles Chicken Supremes.
Bojangles Chicken Supremes is off the board. The first pick in the draft. Bailey,
It's
what do
a
you think
solid
about that?
pick at number one. You know, I don't know if you, I mean, it's pretty generic, but it's a solid pick and something that would be with you for years probably. You know, you can continue to eat Bojangles Chicken Supremes at every tailgate if you wanted to. Matter of fact, the guy next to us eats Bojangles chicken every time he comes. So there you go.
This is correct.
Who's on the clock now?
Grayson is on the clock. So Grayson is my daughter, my youngest. She's also in the 10th grade, and she gets the number 2 pick. And there's still plenty on the board. I don't know that she's a big Bojangles fan, so I think everything that she thought she might be able to choose is still on the board. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm getting something. There's been a trade.
A trade?
We have a trade. My oldest daughter, Jillian, has traded up from the 5th pick. What it says here, she traded her 5th pick to get the 2nd pick. She traded 2 games from the lower deck to the upper deck. See, and that makes sense.
Wow.
That Jillian would make this trade because Jillian is at grad school in DC and is only going to be able to make a couple of games. So she wanted to do whatever it took to be able to make her pick in the draft. And so she jumped ahead of Grayson, but it cost her a little bit of seatage. Gutsy move by Jillian. Jillian's here live to make her pick. So with the number 2 pick in the Fun Fan Draft.
For the second pick of the Fun Fans Tailgate Menu Draft, I pick burgers grilled fresh at the tailgate.
All right.
Another solid selection.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Well, you know, the kids can pick whatever they want. That's more work on the dads, but I kind of enjoy, you know, doing something while we're at the tailgate, and it does provide the fresh meal with the grilled burgers. So that's a very solid pick.
Depends on how the wind's blowing too, with the charcoal and stuff like that.
Yeah. And a lot of times the grilled burgers come in handy for those aggravating noon kickoffs, and we can grill after the game.
Yeah,
so
you need a solid 25, 30 minutes to get those colds right.
Yeah. So, all right. So Katie is on the clock, and she's right here with us. Katie, are you ready for your pick?
All right, for the third pick, I'm going to say buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken dip is a very exact dish, but something that we eat a lot of around here. Sometimes, heck, we just eat it for a meal. Like, hey guys, we're having buffalo chicken dip and wheat thins for dinner.
That's right.
And everybody likes it.
Everybody likes buffalo. It's a solid pick, Katie. Good job. And you know, the buffalo chicken sliders that we've had. Speaking of the 12 o'clock kickoffs, if you can have those for breakfast, and they just turn into breakfast buffalo chicken sliders. If it's 9 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the evening, it's hard to go wrong with the buffalo chicken dip and the buffalo chicken sliders. So Jalen is on the clock. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about Jalen. She is a picky eater. She's finicky. I don't know. She don't like much. She cried when she was about 8 years old the first time we made her eat a hamburger. It was kind of weird, but
wish I was a little more picky.
Yeah. So, all right. So, okay. So the pick is in. Jalen has made her selection. So let's get her on here and see what Jalen has chosen with the number. What are we up to now? 4.
Hello. I have the 4th pick. Hello, I have the 4th pick for the Fun Fans Podcast Tailgate Menu, and I choose Reuben's Chicken Tenders.
Yeah, I mean, solid pick. Reuben's Chicken Tenders are delicious.
I'm honestly surprised that it's the first time Reuben's has shown up on the draft and kind of a little bit surprised. But let me tell the people something about Reuben's chicken tenders. And this is a fact that a lot of people don't know. I'm telling you, Jalen is a connoisseur of the chicken tender. So she asked the people at Reuben's, and when the price of everything went up a year or so ago, to save money on their tenders and keep from having to raise the prices so much, they now take full chicken breasts and butcher them into like thirds, and then hand bread them and fry them. Those things, it's like homemade. Those things are on point. And of course the ranch dip and stuff there at Reuben's is awesome. So just a little bit of, no wonder Jalen picked the chicken tenders.
Yeah, that's what she eats like every meal, isn't it?
Pretty much every meal. Every meal. Every once in a while she'll have a burger. Well, no more trading. All right, so hit the wrong button. All right, so the pick is in, the final pick from Grayson, my youngest, that traded down, so now she gets a couple lower deck seats.
You probably should have gotten 2 picks.
Yeah.
Diddling, diddling. For the 5th pick in the Fun Fans food draft, I pick Reuben's Wings.
There you have it. That's my favorite right there.
The video was a little shaky, but the wings are delicious, as we've discussed many, many, many times.
Hey, that's the lowest of the low budget. You know, the Fun Fans. You know, I need to put my little ticker on there where we're looking for sponsors here. Feel free to advertise right here. And did you hear the little intro? Yeah, that's completely made up stuff. So
there were some great picks, but I feel like we're leaving out a few that I would like to mention real quick.
Well, there's
still things on the board, James.
There's 2 more games, so yeah, so we get to pick now that the kids have picked what they want to eat. All right.
I'm gonna say that ham delights are always a solid choice. You can make them ahead of time. They stay warm in a little warming thing, and they are just so delicious.
Yes.
And you really can't go wrong. You know, there are certain things that are there every week. Chips and salsa, pretzels, things like that. But, you know, the Velveeta sausage salsa kind of dip, that's always a solid choice too.
Yeah, so I would go with the pot of chili.
That's good too.
I mean, that's some good stuff. You can prepare that ahead of time, take a grill or something, or to keep it warm.
Well, we took a burner.
A burner, yeah.
We're out there full-blown campsite.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, we always do good at the tailgate. And speaking of bringing it to the tailgate every time, the Fun Fans podcast tailgate menu draft was unofficially brought to you by Little Debbie Big Pack Oatmeal Cream Pies. They weren't really, but I had to put that up there because
people, I've been to many, many, many football games with James, and he's never been without the big pack of the big oatmeal cream pies.
It's got to be the big ones.
12 big snack packs.
It's got to be the big ones. I am not superstitious, but I am not going to a Clemson home football game without a box of those bad boys.
Well, let's be honest. The little oatmeal cream pies just kind of irritate you a little bit because you have to end up eating about 3 of them.
Yeah. They don't have near as much cream on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, and that thing, it'll make your teeth hurt. It's so sweet in the middle.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know how it started, and I'm sure there's a story if I got thinking about it. But those big pack oatmeal cream pies just hit different at the tailgate. So,
well, James, I'm going to say that the draft was a success.
Yeah. We hope everyone enjoyed the first ever Fun Fans tailgate draft. Everybody's going to start doing that now. We've started we're trendsetters, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Without
I mean, you could also do, you could do hot dogs on a grill. You could do
hot dogs are easy.
Sausages. I mean, you can do all kind of stuff. I mean, if I had my Blackstone, we could just have full blown hibachi out there.
Yeah. Hey, we'll get it there. We'll get it there somehow. So, all right, very good. That was fun, and I can't wait till next year. But honestly, don't hold us to that order of food when it comes this fall. there's no telling what we'll end up having at the tailgate. But it's going to be good either way. All right, I think it's time for our weekly giveaway. Thanks in part to our friends at
Diamond Edge Products. These guys have mastered a diamond laser engraving process, and they can put almost any design on items such as license plates, yard signs, tumblers, water bottles, and more. For a high quality, forever lasting custom engraved product, check out Diamond Edge Products at diamondedgeproducts.com. If you have any questions or you'd like to make an order, email Jalen. She was on the draft at diamondedgeproducts.com. Now, I will say this, their stuff's awesome. Clover High School, plenty of people in Clover getting some stuff, and we appreciate their help.
Yes, it keeps warm stuff warm and cold stuff cold, and you can get whatever you want. So this week's giveaway, the koozie goes to one of our great friends, Jim Mabry.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Jim is I should wait a minute, start over. This week's koozie goes to neighbor. All right, so
producer.
Yeah, congratulations, Jim. Yeah, I'll get that. That'll keep me having to ship a koozie. It'll save me $7. I can just get it to him next time I see him. But yeah, Jim is pretty active with our social media, helps us out. So likes and shares and does all that kind of stuff. Hey, Jim's also the one that hooked us up with the hat. Speaking of hats,
Jim.
Yeah, so that was a really great show. If you hadn't seen that, we need to go back and find our show with the hat. So how can you win? We draw from the names of everyone that shares any of our shows. So share any of our shows on social media, on any social media platform for your chance to win. Reach out to us and we will help you find out how to plug you into Wayne Buckingham's fundraiser, the golf, the gala, the tailgate on Friday. The links are going to be posted. Get to rub some elbows with those big time Clemson folks. And that pretty much wraps up the show, Bailey. That was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. Once again, just show number 20, video show number 20.
Yeah. That, milestone after milestone is a very meaningful show as well. I appreciate any prayers for my mother-in-law, and she's hanging in there, I believe, so far after that first chemo, but you just never know how that's going to go. And the bottom line is we got to get rid of the cancer, and that's the ultimate goal, and that's the ultimate prayer as well. So, but we appreciate the partnership that we're going to have with Gala moving forward, and all those links are going to be posted. Yeah, we'll get us a hat. And the tailgate menu thing, like I said, is going to be catchy. So thanks again for checking us out each and every week. Don't forget to click and subscribe on every social media platform, especially YouTube. We're going to continue to bring you cool stories and fun fans, plenty of great guests posting the show each week. We got some great interviews lined up, so you do not want to miss it. The Fun Fans is the official podcast for Clemson fans. And on behalf of Fun Fans Podcast, J Thrill Entertainment, the Fanboys Fangirls Podcast Network, and Bailey Jackson
and I'd
Katie.
Like to thank my little helper tonight for being here. She's going back in the morning, but we appreciate her being here. Go Tigers, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks to all our kids. Wit. Okay, this wasn't planned. If we had to give an award, I'm gonna have to give it to Wit. My boy did a fantastic job with his video and the props and everything. So props to Wit and his props.
He doesn't say much, but he's very creative.
Yeah. But we do appreciate it. Definitely all our kids. And they're probably the second or third main reasons why we have such a good time at the tailgate. Yeah. All right. On behalf of everybody, again, thanks for listening, and go Tigers.
Go Tigers.